up, dudes? What up? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. We're out with the boys today. We got Mr. Bucket, Ryan, and then somewhere back there behind me we got Jaden too. Yep, there's Jaden. Okay, he still exists. Nah, so today we're on a little group ride, kind of just the normal little group that we go out with. The last couple of videos I've been riding with my boy Caveman. I figured I'd switch up the dynamic a little bit and ride with the homies, I guess you could say. So I guess today I kind of wanted to talk about, and I think Ryan has talked about this before, but why it's not a good idea to go on a group ride as a new rider. So yeah, I kind of wanted to touch on why it's not a good idea to go on a group ride as a newer rider, because I made that mistake as a new rider where I went on a ride with a bunch of guys. And at the time, it was my very first motorcycle. It was a 1987 Honda, like, CB700 Nighthawk. And, like, it was a good bike to learn on because it taught me the fundamentals. It just sucked because I was still very, very new at riding. I didn't know, like, throttle control and shifting and, like, I could drive a manual car, but like learning how to do the clutch on your hand and then shift with your foot, it was definitely a learning curve. And I went on a group ride with a bunch of people, and I think Ryan did too. He went with us. He was on a little CBR 250 at the time. So we're sitting here trying to keep up with all these like R6s and CBR 600s and all these crazy bikes that are like way faster than us. And that's kind of the point, is you go on these group rides as a newer rider and you feel inclined to push yourself to limits that you aren't comfortable with, if that makes any sense. He says hello. So you feel so inclined to push yourself to boundaries like beyond your capabilities and beyond your skill level as a rider. Like you'll see dudes take a corner at you know, X amount of speed, and you'll try to do it too, and you almost end up in a tree because you target fixate on a tree or on a telephone post or something. And it's like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. There's just being on a group ride as a new rider, it can be a good thing and a bad thing. It teaches you that you should really only be riding your own ride. You shouldn't be trying to keep up with other people. You shouldn't be trying to do things that you see other people in that group doing. Stick to your capabilities and your limits as a motorcycle rider. And it'll teach you to do that, which is a good thing. But it's also way easier to get wrapped up in trying to keep up with everybody. You see these guys going way faster than you, doing a lot of crazier stuff than you, and your first instinct as a human is to try to keep up with them and do exactly what they're doing. And that is a big no-no, because that's how you get hurt and that's how you crash. Plus, as a newer rider, it's hard to kind of learn the dynamic of a group ride. There's always like a vibe and a dynamic, and I know that's kind of cringe of me to say, but it's the truth. I mean, there's always a vibe and a dynamic to a group ride. There's those that are going to be crazy balls to the walls group rides. There's going to be the chill cruise group rides. There's going to be the chilling with your homies group rides. Like, there's all kinds of different, you know, I guess in a sense, vibes to group rides. And learning like kind of how to pick up on that learning how to pick up on that and be good at following kind of the rest of the group is very important, because that's how you make friends more than just like, oh hey, we both have bikes, let's be friends, you know. It's, if you're following the dynamic of a group ride and everybody is doing the same thing, you're a lot more likely to make friends, and those people are going to want to ride with you again. If you're being crazy and doing stuff that could get you or other people hurt, they're not going to want to ride with you, plain and simple, just because they don't want to take that risk to themselves. I'm the same way. If somebody's doing dumb stuff around me and they're not matching the group, I'm not going to want to ride with them, because I feel like my life and my bike is going to be put into danger, and I don't want that. That's not what a motorcycle is about. The best thing I can recommend to new riders is always, you know, always ride your own ride. Don't try to do what you see other people doing, and social media is very bad about that. You see these guys ripping dank nooners and doing a bunch of crazy stuff all over TikTok, and you're like, I want to do that, I want to do that. No, please do not. It's how you get yourself hurt or killed, and there's already a big enough risk when you ride a motorcycle. You should, you know, especially if you're a new rider, you just gotta be smart, feel it out, take your time, don't feel like you have to rush. Just like that person learning maneuverability in their car. Don't rush it. Everything will come in time. The more you ride, and I've said this in a previous video, the only way to get better is to just do it. You just gotta ride your motorcycle. Don't be incentivized to do crazy dumb stuff, but go ride your motorcycle alone, or with maybe 1 or 2 friends of yours. Like 1 or 2 is usually the max as like a newer rider, because it's people that you know and people that you trust. And if you're learning together, you know, you're both or all 3 going to make mistakes, but you can learn from that, instead of being in a big group of 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 riders, you know, and you get into a crash, or you put another rider in that group in danger. You know, you're not only putting you and the other person at risk, you're putting a whole group at risk. Oh, hi, little kitties. I don't know, I feel like it's just important to learn fundamentals of riding, like, by yourself. Because I kind of threw myself into the deep end. I started riding and I was going out with people that were way more experienced than me. And I guess I kind of threw myself out to the wolves in a sense, but that's how I learned. And if I could go back and do it over again, I would teach myself how to do the fundamentals of cornering and throttle control and all that stuff before I started throwing myself into these group rides and doing, you know, crazier stuff, and like I said, matching the dynamic of the group ride. Because there's a fine line between like riding your own ride and also keeping up with the dynamic of the group, and just straight up pushing yourself, because obviously you don't want to get left in the dust by your group and end up just being that one odd man out that's like, oh, where did he go? But you also don't want to over push yourself or overstep your boundaries, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I know I've kind of repeated myself a few times on that, but dude, you guys got to be careful. I said it before, I'll say it again. I've seen so many people on social media, they get in over their heads and they do dumb stuff and they crash. Now, there's a big difference between accidents that are unavoidable and there's accidents that are completely avoidable. Like getting pulled out in front of, like, obviously that's kind of unavoidable. You're a very small vehicle that's hard to see, and people don't pay attention anymore. It's very unlikely that somebody is going to pay attention, especially like teenagers and this newer generation. They're so engulfed in their phones, they don't even care about the road around them. They're not going to see you. They're not going to see us. But there's those that are unavoidable, which is, you know, getting pulled out in front of, whatever, getting merged over onto. I've seen people get I've seen people get hit by a car that doesn't see them in their blind spot. Yeah, there's kids that get out there and they think they're the shit, and then they go try to take a curve way too fast, and they target fixate on something, or they try to push themselves way over their boundary, and they end up getting hurt. They total the bike, obviously, because these things aren't meant to be wrecked. You low side one of these at anything more than probably 25 mile an hour, and you're gonna fuck shit up. I mean, it's just kind of a given. And I'm not trying to be mean or anything. Like, I'm trying to be a nice dude, but I just, this is just my opinion. Like right now, we're all in a group ride, but we're all matching the dynamic. We're all just cruising, there's a couple little go-getters, a couple pulls here and there. But for the most part, we're all just kind of cruising, having fun, chillaxing. We're just out enjoying the beautiful day. And this is how a group ride should be. And obviously none of us are new riders. We've all been riding for 2, 3, 4, some of us probably way longer than that. And at the end of the day, mistakes happen. People make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Eventually, and I've said it before, everybody is gonna lay a bike down. Everybody. I've laid a bike down. I know everybody in this group has laid a bike down at least once, or almost thereof, I guess. I mean, yeah, you get what I mean. Setting a bike over, losing your balance, whatever. It happens. We're all human, but you just have to not overstep your boundaries, because if you learn at a low speed and you crash at a low speed, you're way less likely to get hurt, and then you can be like, oh, this is what I did wrong, let me not do that again. Doggy. I love doggies. Leave a comment down below, dudes. What's your favorite pet? A dog or a cat, and why? Do you guys like dogs more, or do you like cats more? Personally, I have likes and dislikes for both. And my girlfriend has a cat, but I have a dog, and I love my dog, but I also love my girlfriend's cat. She's so cute. But leave a comment down below, let me know. Do you guys like dogs more, cats more? Why? I know that's like a whole ongoing thing. That's like God, what's a good comparison for that? Oh, I got a good one. The dogs versus cats feud is like Hondas versus Yamaha. Or like Honda versus Toyota. Like, which one do you like more, the Civic or the Camry, or the Accord or the Corolla, or whatever the mixture is, and why? Like, each person is gonna have likes and dislikes that they like more or less than the other. And I'm not saying I don't like one over the other. I just know that there are people that are biased towards, like dogs versus cats, or cats versus dogs. I have completely strayed away from the topic of this video. To kind of end off the whole conversation of group rides. Group rides are a great thing. Don't get me wrong. With all the negative stuff that I've said about it, group rides are amazing. You get to go out with your friends, you get to have a good time, you get to see beautiful scenery like this, even though they're destroying it with a bunch of stupid housing developments that are completely pointless because people already have houses. But that's besides the point. You get to see stuff like this. You get to see beautiful hillsides and country and farms and whatever you want to see. And I just feel like there's a respectful time for a rider to embark on group rides. And when you're a noob or a squid or whatever, it's not the right time. because you're inexperienced, you think you can do things that you actually cannot do, and pushing yourself to that point is going to get you hurt. The more you learn before you start riding with other people, the better you are about controlling yourself, or at least putting yourself into a position where you know you can keep up comfortably, or you're with people that are going to keep you safe. But I have nothing against group rides. I think they're so much fun. I love riding with my friends. It's a great time. I've only ever been on a few bad group rides where it's like, dang, I shouldn't have come out to this. But it's all about just knowing your limit and knowing what you are capable of, and knowing that you're going to be with people that are not going to push you beyond that capability. But I'm going to go ahead and shoot this outro here. I hope you guys enjoyed. I really do. Like I always say, I enjoy filming these videos. They're a lot of fun. I love having excuses to get out on my bike and ride. But if you like this video, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's try to hit 400 subscribers by August. It's April 8th today. Let's try to hit 400 subscribers by August. I'm gonna hold you guys to that. Let's see if we can do it. If you like this video, please smash that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below. Do you like dogs more, or do you like cats more? Thank you, dudes. Love you. Deuces.